Welcome to Retirement Ramblings. I'm Scott, and today is day 159 on my countdown to retirement. So today I did my weekly performance review, and we ended the week up 0.93%. So we're now up 8.06% for the year across our portfolio. So I was pretty happy with that news. The stock market as a whole also ended the week up. The Dow Jones Industrial Average finished up 1.3% at 44,902. I ended up liquidating half of my position midweek at 45,000 even. The S&P 500 was up 1.5%, notching its 14th record close of the year at 6388.64. And then the NASDAQ was up 1% to 21,108. And the Russell 2000 was also up 0.9% to 2261. And all 11 sectors of the S&P 500 were either flat or up for the week. Consumer staples was flat, and healthcare was the big winner, up 3.4% for the week. And then for WTI crude, it was down 3.2% to $65.16 a barrel, while gold was also down 0.7% to $3,335.60. Natural gas was again down, this time 12.8% to $3.11. And then international markets were mixed this week. India was the big loser, down 0.4% to 81,463, while Germany was also down 0.3% to 24,218. And the winner for the week was Japan, which was up 4.1% to 41,456. So after doing my number crunching in the morning, the next thing that I did was upgrade my video editing software. The software I use to create these videos, which is with Wondershare Filmora. And so I did that, and one of the new features was this text to video sample AI conversion. So I tried it out, using a very simple brief summary to see what it would do. Not at all, quite honestly, not at all impressed. So won't be using that, at least not anytime soon. And then I had an open bill that I kept getting pinged on, apparently, from visiting my primary care provider back in June to review my lab work. And so I logged on, used my HSA card, and paid for the bill to get that out of the way. Quite honestly, I didn't even remember that I didn't pay the charge already, so it was good that they were pinging me. Then I made plans with a couple of friends of mine who were on their way out to a tennis match to meet up for lunch. And so at 1 o'clock, we ended up meeting up and spending an hour and a half together having lunch at a Mexican restaurant that both my wife and I and this couple enjoy. So spend some time with them. Also, my buddy is going to end up driving us to the airport, so I won't have to park my car and leave it there while we're away, on our cruise. So that's really going to help me out. And then I had been letting a pile of papers from my brokerage build up. So basically, I ended up having 3 months worth of trade confirmations and statements, and the summaries that you get for each of your holdings, quarterly. They were all on a pile. So today I went through and I keep all of my stuff in. I'm old school in this regard, and I keep everything 3-hole punched in a variety of binders, broken out by whether it's an IRA or a Roth or whatever. So I did all my 3-hole punching, put them in date order, put them in the right books. So that took me probably an hour and a half. And then anything that I needed to shred, I then went and sat down and put it through our shredder and took care of that. Then I had my wife test her her cell phone using, uh, again, Visible by Verizon, um, and set it up where she was doing a 4G Wi-Fi hotspot. Um, and then I had her connect her iPad to that and run all of her games. She was able to successfully play everything without any kind of slowdown from what she's normally used to doing. So once I confirmed that, I logged on to Nomad and I purchased the 20 gig 30-day Nomad package for Europe, which was $22. And uh, I then took her phone, installed the SIM, the eSIM, made all the configuration changes I needed to. So now when we go to the airport and fly over to the UK, when we land in London, she'll be able to just turn on her phone, turn off the SIM for Visible, activate the SIM for a Nomad, and instantly have access to her data while we're over there. And then I also logged in. We use AT&T for our internet, and so I logged on AT&T to check when for all the things that we do in a month. And my wife plays her games, and we watch streaming videos and whatever. How much data do we actually use? So in the last month, our usage was like 36 gig uh, total. So based on that, and I know that we watched and recorded lots of programs that consume the vast majority of data. So I'm highly confident now that 20 gigs will be more than enough for her to play all of her games, and potentially, if she wants to watch something that she downloads, or should not be a problem. So that's good. And then since I was in there, I paid my monthly internet bill, got that out of the way because it would come due while we were away. And then I sent a clarifying email to the transportation service that we plan on using and that I've already, paid for in the UK, asking them to confirm the meetup point. Uh, I told them when I did my initial setup, I told them what hotel we're in, etc. And I wasn't sure, like, do I have to come outside and wait for somebody like you would for an Uber? Are they going to come into the lobby? Like, what's the actual way it works? And so then they got back to me and confirmed that the driver would, in fact, come into the lobby, help actually take our suitcases, load them in the car, and it would be, an easy door-to-door service from there down to the cruise ship. So I was happy to confirm that. Then the last thing I did before talking to you all was spend some time researching the best options to get coins in local currency in all the different countries we're going to be visiting, because public restrooms in those countries are not free. So all of the toilets that you need to use as a public restroom have a fee, and it could be anywhere from like half a euro to or 20 pence, or there's a variety of different things. And so basically you need to have change, or you need to set up contactless payment system. So I'm doing a combination of both. So I contacted my credit card company, confirmed that I could set up the contactless payment with my card without a problem in these countries. I didn't have to notify them or do anything in advance, so that they wouldn't block the charges going through if I used either Apple Pay or Google Pay, and that also that the card had no foreign transaction fees. So confirmed all that was good. So I will end up setting up contactless payment there. But then I still need, and it was suggested to me, that go to an ATM that's not in an airport, that's just in a regular part of town, a bank or whatever. Take a small amount of money in the local currency out of the ATM, so that you don't pay the double dipping that they do on the, I forget the term they use, but there's like a double conversion that happens if you take it in USD, which you don't want to do. So anyway, and then go into a store, buy something small, could be a candy bar or whatever, and then get the get the coins, and then keep the coins with you, so that if you're going to, you know, in a lot of the places, like I said, I know that there are restrooms at the different facilities where we'll be visiting, but from what I've been told, all of them are basically pay toilets, and some of them could be old, and so I don't know whether they'll have contactless payment or not. So I want to make sure that we definitely have change in the event that we need to use, the facilities while we're on the trip. And those are the kind of things that can really throw a wrench into your plans if you're not aware of the fact that, because you don't travel much outside the U.S., that you need to take, actually need to think about these things before you go on a trip. So anyway, that's the whirlwind of activities that I spent on my time on today. So if you have any questions or any comments, please leave them in the comment section down below, or drop me an email at myretirementramblings@gmail.com. Otherwise, I hope you have a great evening, and until tomorrow, take care.